Hello, my name is Ben, and welcome back to another update video. In this one, I'm going to be announcing Project Cobalt. So, this is a build for a friend, and the aim of this build is not to break records, but also not to break the bank. So, we've gone with some choices that you may not have gone with if you were building a PC within the £330 range, or that's about $560. So I'd be interested to hear what you would do, and send me a link to your PC part picker list, and I will check it out. But the reason why we've gone with these choices is for my friend, and he wants this to be upgradable. And it is very easily upgradable, and that's why I've made some of the choices that I have. So, we're going to kick the build straight off with our processor, which is the Intel Pentium G3220. It's a 3.0 GHz processor, obviously the dual core because it is a Pentium. Comes with a stock fan, which is alright. We're not going to be doing any overclocking. Obviously the Pentium doesn't support the overclocking. I think Intel have just released a 20th anniversary edition, which does support overclocking. So I'd be interested to buy that and try that out on the new Z97 platform. And we're going to pair that with the MSI B85 G41 PC Mate motherboard. So this motherboard goes along with the colour scheme for this build that I've chosen, which is white, blue and black. So this motherboard is socket 1150, which obviously fits with our Intel Pentium processor. We have 4 RAM slots, so we can have up to 32 gigs of RAM. We do have an onboard USB 3 header. This chipset is the Intel B85 chipset, which doesn't support overclocking, but as we're not doing any overclocking, this will do us just fine. This motherboard has 2 fan headers for the CPU and 3 system fan headers, so all the cooling will be supplied by the motherboard. We won't have to do any splitter cables, even though I've got loads of them just in case. Also going with the colour scheme, we've got Corsair Vengeance Blue memory, which could also be Kingston HyperX Fury. They cost around the same price, and if you're building it, get either one, get whatever's in stock or whatever's cheaper. So we're getting 4 gigabytes. This is DDR3 1600 speed. So obviously this is going to be an upgradable. This isn't what it's going to be finally. He isn't on a big salary, so this will be upgraded about 2 weeks down from the build to get 8 gigs of RAM. So yeah, we're just getting the build kicked off as soon as we possibly can. For storage, we're going with the Seagate Barracuda 1TB drive. And if anyone's wondering, the model number I've chosen is the ST1000DM003. Like I said, this is a 1TB drive and supports SATA 6 GB a second. 64 megs of cache, obviously a 7200 RPM hard drive. Anything less than that these days for boot drives is really, really slow and probably not advisable. This is a very, very high price to gigabytes ratio, and actually you're getting roughly 28 gigabytes per pound. So that's insanely cheap. You can get this from Amazon for around £42, which is very good also. For our power supply, we're going with Corsair's CX500M. That's their Builder Series bronze rated power supply. So it's cheap, cheerful, does what it says on the tin, reliable. So yeah, I'm happy. And this will provide the power for our graphics card, which is the MSI Radeon R7 260X, one of AMD's new graphics cards. It supports True Audio as well as Mantle, so we'll actually be able to take some of the load off that Pentium processor. For our case, we are going with the Fractal Design Define R3, that's the Arctic White, and some may complain that this build is unbalanced because of said case. I would prove you wrong, because we found this case in the back of a shop for £10, which is about $17. So we got an absolute killer deal on this case. The only issues were there weren't any screw sets with the case, and the side panels are black because the white ones got scuffed. But that's okay. I'm going to spray paint the black panels white, and I've already got loads of Fractal Design screw sets from when I've used their products before. For reading CDs and DVDs and all good stuff, we are going with LG's GH24 NSB0. This is a SATA 3GB a second drive, and will fit in a 5¼ bay on the case. I chose this one because even though it's a bit more expensive than the general Samsung drives that people tend to go with, I think it just looks a lot nicer with its matte finish, and it's very, very clean, everything is square, and I just think it looks a lot nicer and more high quality. So, we are also going to be using a TP-Link, Wi-Fi adapter, and you can see my review of that there. And we're going to be using the same one in this build, and that is going to be good for him for his Wi-Fi needs. So, my name's been Ben, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.